Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry about that, folks. Wendigo here. This is a little technical difficulty. So, this is the CMU Mavericks versus Truman Bulldogs League varsity game. So, we're starting a little late into the draft. CMU has banned Shen, Gnosis, Lucian. Truman has banned Jinx, Yasuo, Volibear. And we are starting off strong with Kench and Jax for top lane. Interesting pick, as not exactly fierce counter picks. Oh, looks like we have Sejuani jungle and what looks like to be Cassante jungle. Not too strange. But it could also be another pick for somebody else to make sure that Truman doesn't get a hold of it. Vladimir is the next pick, another bold choice. Vladimir would be interesting, and without the Gnosis, he has no direct counterpick. So let's see what Truman does against it. They could go for maybe another decent pick. No, going straight for the Ari. We will see how that will play out, as Ari is not exactly quite on the menu, but interesting choices. CMU is going for bold and brash. Truman is going seemingly for strategy and smart. Looks like Truman is banning Syndra, and CMU is picking their ban to retaliate. Looks like taking out Braum support. We have Truman doing the next ban. These be taking their time trying to guess CMU's strategy. Taking out the Senna. Probably preventing Senna bot. CMU can respond in kind. Taking out the Smolder. Possibly. Yep, taking out the Smolder. Taking out Smolder is a clever pick. A decently powerful champion. Let's see what Truman picks for their lower support. For their support and their bot lane. Without the Smolder, you're missing a couple of clever counters. And that leaves for a little bit of creativity. Lulu support looks like the way they're going. And looks like CMU might try to go for something a little bit more clever. Kog'Maw seems to be on the table right now. An interesting decision. Looks like they are picking the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw is locked in. CMU gets to pick the last champion for their side. Could be an interesting setup with Hog taking bot. And looks like we might have Zach taking over. No, going for a Mumu last minute. Interesting choice. Now there is a decent chance that Truman can counter the Amumu and combine. But we will have to see. Would be a clever pick, and they pick Zeri last minute. The game is set. Interesting choice of champs here. As Zeri has not been used overly much, but we do have a decent matchup. Zeri Lulu was a decent strategy for a while, but it has now changed. And we'll have to see if they can keep up with Amumu.
No cure for fools.
Seems like Cassante is an interesting choice for the position if they are playing him. I think they are playing him. He's aggressive and he is ahead.
What's the worst that could happen?
We also have Sejuani. A good use of her abilities in the jungle. Again, no real big counter plays, but there are a lot of heavy uses that will be. Alright, and as I thought, we are combining things. So we have Cassante top, Amumu jungle, Vladimir mid, and then we have Jax top, Sejuani jungle, Ahri mid.
Fine. I don't need more enemies
To respond.
What did I
Interesting
do?
picks. Again, Ahri makes her home in the mid lane. Vladimir would be an interesting counter pick, as Vlad is the type to keep up. However, Ahri is a decent counter pick compared to Vladimir. However, the same cannot be said about the other way. Looks like we have Kog'Maw bot, and then then we have Kench support, and Lulu support, and Zeri bot. This will be an interesting game, as there's always a range of counter picks, but it is not as clear-cut as other games can be. We'll admit that the Ahri was a clever counter for the Vladimir, as in most games, if played right, Ahri can dominate the Vladimir, but we will have to see if CMU can play Vladimir just right. We're about to enter the rift. Alright, hello everyone, this is Wendigo again, and now we're back on the Rift. So, this will be an interesting game. Looks like they're setting up decent. Looks like they're trying to set up some vision right now. We got some hiding in the bush, to no one's surprise. Looks like there's some decent warding. Good. Vision is key.
Minions have spawned.
Alright, we will have to see who makes the first push. Seems like each are in their own little areas right now. No apparent team fights as of yet. Lots of hiding. I'll have to see. Okay. Looks like we've got the Kog'Maw dancing around bot lane. And the Kench is moving it. Alright. Jax and Cassante are swapping. And same with Kench, Ma, and the others. Not enough to do damage. Mostly just being annoying and farming. Although I will admit, up in top lane they are going hard against each other, and the Cassante is on the back end of some nasty stuns. Oh. Oh! Hench going right for the Zeri, chipping away. Maw slowing her down, but she gets away right underneath tower. Vladimir sends some after the Ahri to no avail, and then keeps swapping back and forth. Cassante and Jax are trying to farm while not hitting each other completely. Zeri takes a couple of shots, a retaliatory hit from the Kench. Decent teamwork done in bot lane, making sure that they stay off, keeping them underneath the towers. Some quick shots towards the Zeri, but she quickly dodges. Oh, we got Kog'Maw with the first blood against the Zeri. It leaves the Zulu stuck underneath the tower as they keep hitting the Zeri and the tower, chipping away. Not looking too fun. Top lane is still farming, swapping back and forth. Cassante's playing hard to get, but keeps getting stuck. Jack's making sure he knows his place as they farm. We will see if they get much farther than that. Ahri and Vladimir are going back and forth, fairly evenly matched currently. We'll see as she keeps missing her charm, and even a double miss for her, Ahri still hiding underneath the tower, as Vladimir inches closer and closer. Jax keeps stunning the Cassante as the Lulu pops up in the mid. Top laners are ignoring each other. For a while, at least. It's like the Sedge is cleaning out some wards, adding some of their own. Same with the Amumu. The Amumu moves to bot. Meets up with the others as Kog'Maw continues the assault. And here comes the Zeri. The Zeri is grabbed by the Amumu. The Amumu goes in for the charge. The Lulu comes in to help, but no luck as Kog'Maw finishes off the Lulu. Zeri is left behind as all three seem to be going straight for the Dragon Pit. Cassante ends up grabbing the Jax, stunning him a little, but that does nothing as he just chips away at his health. Seemingly evenly matched, and sure enough, blue team takes the Cloud Drake. Zeri is snagged by the Kench, going back and forth, and the Kog'Maw. This is a shot. The Jax grabs the... Oh. Another decent fight between the Zeri as they chip away at her health. Seems to slow her, but nothing much. The Sejuani ganks the poor Cassante, stunned, and here comes the Amumu to help. The Sejuani runs, and not fast enough to outrun the Amumu's. Jax is underneath the tower as even Vladimir comes in to help. Of course, the Amumu takes out the Jax, and now Cassante can chip away at tower. You've got the Kog'Maw down on bot as the Lulu and the Zeri keep trying their hardest at coming at him. And nobody's too busy to do much. With the Vladimir gone and now coming back, the Ahri has to make sure that she's not caught attacking the tower. Back and forth. And the Amumu has slain the Void Grubs without contest. Vladimir and Ari keep chasing each other, taking a decent chunk out of Ari's health, but nothing too much to worry about. The Tom Kench makes sure that the Lulu backs off as the Kog'Maw slows the enemy. And here comes the Sejuani gank, going right for the Tom Kench, but not lucky enough to grab it. The Kog'Maw keeps tossing attacks back behind and is able to fend off the gank. Doesn't mean that the Sejuani leaves either, as now goes into Red's jungle. Sejuani is, the Zeri is slowed again. But nothing more. Nope. Kench keeps taking shots, and the Kog'Maw slows her down more. But they go back as the Kench and the Kog'Maw stay underneath tower. CMU's team fighting seems to be going quite well. With 4 kills, it can definitely lead to more danger for the others. The Amumu is collecting a lot of power right now. Good for the Amumu, as very needed. Jax and Cassante going back and forth, and same with Ari and Vladimir. However, seems like both of them making the landing. We've got both taking bits out of each other. Seems like the Jax is on the other end of it, though. Vladimir gets charmed, but gets to walk away fast. Jax and... oh. Vladimir seems to be on the run from Ari, but... oh, charmed again, but running away. Ari chase is a back and forth way across mid lane. Here comes the Kench to help out Kog'Maw as he slows the enemy, and the Kench chases off the others. No bold moves as of yet. Oh, there you go. The Cassante and the Jax go back and forth. Zeri gets nabbed by the Kench. Kog'Maw keeps throwing, and here comes the Amumu. Nope, or not. Oh, the Zeri is stunned underneath the bush, and the Amumu wants a piece of it, but not fast enough as the Sejuani comes down. The Ari gets stuck in the bot lane as Kench and Amumu and Kog'Maw go away from it. This leaves the Vladimir to farm underneath the red tower, and seems like all of blue team, seems like most of blue team shows up to take care of the Hextech Drake. With its... the Vladimir and the Ari meet in red jungle. And sure enough, the Vladimir is on the run from the Sejuani. The Ari gets stuck, taken out by the Amumu. The Amumu takes out the Sejuani. Oh no, it was the Kog'Maw taking out the Ari. Well done. This leaves the Zeri and the Lulu in bot to do a resistance, but Zeri misses her attack on Kog'Maw. Vladimir keeps farming as more of blue team keeps showing up to take care of the Void Grubs. CMU is taking out a lot of objectives currently. Sorry. Looks like we got the Cassante being bold and taking chunks out of the Jax and getting chunks taken out in return. Blue team's turret is taken out slowly but surely. as the Kog'Maw is underneath to defend. The Amumu takes care of the Void Grubs. It seems like the Jax is on the run for the Cassante. Blue buff is slowly being taken out, and Ahri barely misses the Kench. But she has a powerful attack for him waiting. Seems like Kog'Maw is still stuck underneath turret from Zeri and Lulu, but putting up a little bit of a fight. At least enough to take some decent chunks out of the bot laner's health. Sejuani's double checking that there is no vision for red in the Baron pit. We will have to see. Cassante tries to make a jump for the Jax, but it is a miss. Tom is taking care of wards as we've got... Oh! Stick your face in a bush and what do you get? A hit from Cassante. Oh, but there's the Sejuani that grabs him last minute. Stunned and stuck. And he's chipped away. He runs underneath, but not fast enough for the Jax to get a hold of him. The Amumu comes. Can he avenge? Seems like he's trying. But decides that it is a lot easier to just leave it be. Seems like it's a battle of the support and the bot again, as the Zeri is more targeted by the Kog'Maw and the Kench. Alright. The Rift Herald has spawned, and it seems like Blue Team is the first to respond. Vladimir takes a shot at the Ahri, but the Ahri takes a shot at her, and it is a decent fight. Seems like both jungler, bot, and... Oh, no, missing the Herald completely. But they are going right for the fight. Seems like the Sejuani wants a piece, but the Cassante comes in to help clean out the Herald and get it for CMU. Same with the Vladimir. This leaves red team to have free control as Kog'Maw tries his best to fight off the bot and support on red team. But the Amumu takes the Rift Herald, which means that they have a powerful advantage for later. Blue's bot turret seems to be on its last legs as Kog'Maw waits for the catch to return. But holding his own. But hiding underneath the turret will only do you so good. And here comes the Kench, scaring off the other team, and the Sejuani gank, as expected. Oh, will we have a jungler fight? Looks like we might, as Amumu takes chunks out of the Sejuani, who can only flee for her life, and the Amumu says no. Jax takes some hits against the Cassante. The Cassante is on the run, but can he make it underneath the tower? And it looks like he does. Dragon spawns, and Blue Team has a strong response. Looks like we might have a 3v3 down by Dragon Pit, but nope. The Vladimir wards them off a little. Can they steal it? No, they cannot, and Blue Team gets the dragon uncontested. 3 dragons ahead. 1 herald ahead. 6 grubs ahead. And 3k gold ahead of Truman Bulldogs. Vladimir is on his last legs, but still able to survive against Ahri. Oh, and here comes the Sejuani going right for the Vladimir, but the Vladimir escapes. Ari is in hot pursuit, but barely misses the last part. And here comes the Amumu to take an attack against the Sejuani. Ari is helping up behind, but misses every attack as the Amumu goes straight for the turret. Will the Lulu come in to help? No. Amumu is taking the Rift Herald, charging for Red Tower, taking it out quickly. We've got the Amumu and the Kench going right after each other, and they separate quickly. Cassante is able to chip away at the Red Tower unobject. Oh, and meets the Jax in the river, taking chunks out of him. He's stunned. Nope. He keeps going. Half and half, piece by piece. Will they kill each other before they get a final word? The Kench comes in for a quick assist, and the Cassante is gone, but the Kench will try to avenge. But the Sejuani has her own ideas and keep— Oh! The Kog'Maw takes out the Jax from afar. The Kench and the Kog'Maw go right after the Sejuani. Lulu and Amumu keep going back and forth. The Zeri has no chance. The Lulu is barely holding on for dear life. Can he get the Zeri and the Amumu? Looks like Vladimir is gonna try his best. Kog'Maw takes out a red turret. The Vladimir keeps being chipped away at the Zeri's health, but his Lulu is barely alive. Barely able to escape as the Zeri tries to distract the Vladimir, and the Ahri says, no, not this time. Vladimir tries to take some bites out of the pair, but with the Sejuani, there is no chance, and the Vladimir is down. The Mumu takes out blue buff, and Cassante is nearby to go meet Jax back up on top. The Sejuani has been pretty decent this game, but there is not a lot. CMU has a decent 4K gold lead, which does make it difficult to count back, and considering how many injectives that the red team does not have, it's safe to say that this might be a little difficult. But Tom Kench takes some bites out to Lulu and is out. The Zeri tries to run for her life, but she is not spared as they go straight for the mid lane red turret. The Sejuani is coming in through the side, trying to prevent attacks, but the Kench and the Kog'Maw say no. Keep going for the turret that she keeps hiding behind, but they get called away to respond to the call of Baron. The Cassante and the Amumu are already there. Might the Sejuani and Jax and Ahri try to steal it? Who knows? We've got 4 on Baron. Seemingly good, and there comes the Kench for 4. And sure enough, our team does not get a piece of any of it, as all 4 go straight to top and goes right for the Jax. The Jax is running for his life, and there is no stopping as he gets stunned and stabbed and taken out, and he cannot run from the Revenge of Cassante. Another blue turret is destroyed in the mid lane. And blue turret is destroyed on top lane. 3 for 3 turrets, but they are still far behind by 4K. Ocean Drake seems to be coming in, and red team is determined to make sure they get this dragon. We've got 4 there waiting as they chip away at the health, and blue team is on its way to meet them, it seems. Seems like we got 4 going on bot lane, going in deep. Amumu's making sure they can't see anything. The Cassante presses down mid lane. Going against the Zeri and the Lulu. As there is a powerful four-man team going up bot lane. The Ahri tries to go straight for the Amumu, but it does no chance as they chip away at the health. The Jax tries to take some bites out of the Amumu, but to no avail. Looks like we got nearly a 4-on-4. Vladimir... Jeez. Heavy power as the Kog'Maw takes out the Ahri. The Jax is dead. The Sejuani barely escapes. The Lulu is gone. The Zeri is cornered. The Sejuani is on her last legs. Stunned. Sejuani is obliterated. And Zeri makes ace. They keep going straight for the turret. Quickly taking that out. The red inhibitor is out. And sure enough, as red team respawns, blue team TP's out. That was an impressive run. Nearly doubling the gold lead for CMU. Clever work for the CMU as they used a four-man team to push directly into red team's base. Clever and fast and quite effective. Seems like they might be waiting for the next round of Baron or the next Drake. So quick swapping as the Vladimir takes some pieces out of the Ahri as the Ahri flees back to base. And the Vladimir does not follow. Seems like red team is expecting a heavy attack from blue, but that might not be soon. Seems like blue team is still continuing to ward and eliminate vision, which is very clever. Seems like we have 3 on mid lane. The Cassante and the Jax keep going back and forth. The Cassante is a little bit at a disadvantage here, but we will have to see as the Amumu comes in for gank. Misses the initial attack. Oh, but comes in. The Jax is cornered as a 1v5. The Jax has no chance. And sure enough, they go for a top attack. The Zeri tries to take some shots to no avail. The Zeri tries to flee, but there is no chance. The Sejuani comes in, but nope. Kog'Maw takes a quick nab at the Zeri. And they are ready, and the Kench grabs the Sejuani. The Amumu takes out everybody else. The Kog'Maw is obliterating the red team as they are on the run, running into the base. Ahri takes some shots at the Cassante, but that does do nothing. Will they do another run on the base? It seems they just might. Blue team TP. Looks like they're all TPing back to base. Another red turret is destroyed by the last-minute Vladimir attack. Seems like they will be going for another attack. Looks like we got everybody going, seemingly, catching up in mid lane. Seems like we will all be meeting in the jungle. The Sejuani takes some shots at the Vladimir, but with the Amumu there is no chance. The Ahri takes shots at the Vladimir, but there is no landing. The Jax is being chipped away slowly. Blue team has the power. The Sejuani is gone. The Jax is obliterated. The Lulu is out. Zeri flees for her life and is not spared by the Kench. And sure enough, they are going right for that last inhibitor. The tower is gone and there is no defending their last turret and inhibitor. No, there is not. The Zeri is dead, the Ahri is left, and it is game. CMU wins the first game. Alright, I'll catch you in the next game. Alright, welcome back, ladies and gents. We are here for game 2 of CMU Mavericks versus Truman Bulldogs. Seems like they are just about to start the draft, and they have both swapped sides. Last game was a complete crushing of Truman by CMU. Nothing left behind. All the grubs, Baron, all but one Drake went to CMU. Great team fights, great builds. CMU knew how to put together a fight. Let's see if they can continue that on in game 2, or if the Bulldogs actually still got a little bit of bite in them. We will have to see. Again, as much as a draft can make a big difference, another thing that can make a big difference is team play, build, and even knowing how to play the champ. We will have to see if it was a skill issue, team issue, or if it was just an unadulterated knockout by CMU. Alright, so we are still waiting for the ban phase. Starting soon, hopefully. They picked all perfect roles in the last match where we had the classic Cassante top, we had the Amumu in jungle, we had Pogma for bot, Vladimir mid. And even though Truman had a direct pick with Ahri against the Vladimir, still didn't help. They kept swapping lanes, and so it made it a lot easier to keep the Vladimir alive while fending off the Ahri. Clever work. Let's see if that same teamwork and communication can come together again for CMU, or if they are going for a full-on change of pace. Truman gets to pick the first ban. Will they go for an aggressive quick ban, or will they go for the normal bans of different mains? We will have to see. Seems that blue bans Mundo first. Let's see what CMU bans in response. Seems like CMU might be taking out the Shen again. Seems like CMU might be going for mains, but Truman is making sure they do not get stomped again. So the Gnosis is out. They are taking out the aggressive top lane and Vladimir, which crushed mid lane and top lane last time. And CMU takes away the Kog'Maw from themselves. Truman picks a Jinx. CMU responds in turn with what looks like Jhin. And they do respond in kind with Jhin. Interesting picks. Has Both not exactly good counter picks, but decent enough. Get the job done. Looks like CMU picks up Volibear next. Interesting idea to pick up the volley. Let's see what Truman does in response. Picks up the Nami. Probably picking a support last minute. Really quick. We will have to see, though, what they pick next. Seeming like we're going for the Skarner pick. Alright. Well, we can see what CMU responds in kind with. Seems a little bit like CMU might be going for the classic aggressive picks. We will have to see what their next pick is. Tom Kench again, it seems, making sure that he stays theirs. We will see where he is utilized, but I have a feeling that he might be utilized in the bot lane like he was last time. CMU gets to pick the first of the bands of the second wave. Let's see which one they take out next. They take out Jax. Any possibility of a top laner. Truman responds with Yasuo. And CMU takes out the Gragas. And they take out the Malzahar in response. The second wave of picks is next. CMU, this Psy, seems to be taking a decent while to pick, and they pick the Asol. Good choice. As there is, we will have to see if they do pick, Truman does pick the counter pick, true counter pick. But Asol seems to be a powerful choice. Seems like CMU, again, is going for the aggressive ban. And the Syndra makes a return as she is not banned this game as she was last game. And they pick a Yone to finish off. Now let's see what CMU responds with in turn. Will it be a direct counterpick for any of these champions? They go for the Pike. Okay. Oh. Okay. Nearly faking out with the Thresh for a minute, but nope, going with the Pike support. Alright. Looks like they are going... CMU is going with classic aggressive. And Truman... Seems like they may be playing to their strengths. But CMU is well known for playing some more aggressive picks. More tougher picks. In the bot. In general. Seems like they're still going for powerful tops. The Aurelian Soul is a great pick for the mid lane fights. Tom Kench is probably taking on the role of bot this time. Maybe. It is an interesting matchup in combination on the side, but we'll have to see who takes what role.
Do not try my patience. Only flee.
Alright, so we got Jin at bot. We'll have to... Now, we'll have to see where each pick falls into. Looks like they're going Yone top. Looks like they'll be going Tom Kench top. CMU will. The Volibear jungle, it seems will be the next choice. Truman is picking their choice for jungle. Going for Skarner. Syndra mid lane. Aurelian Soul mid lane. Again, it seems like the Truman is going for more trying to counter or at least copy CMU, as Yone and Kench can go back and forth. Skarner is a classic jungle. Volibear has 2 and can build quite well. Aurelian Soul and Syndra are both excellent choices for mid lane as of currently.
Yeah,
Sorry. Looks like they're going Jin versus Jinx in bot. And picking Nami support and Pike support. Again, CMU is going for the aggressive. Jinx Nami is a decent combo, I will admit, but this is going to be an interesting game. Can CMU keep up the aggression and crush the game quickly with a clean sweep, or will Truman be able to keep up the fight and hold them off? We will have to see. I will admit that the Yone in top seems to be good to go up against. But Kench doesn't seem... They don't seem to be each other's picks, necessarily. But then again, we will see. It's a risk that they're going to take, and it's not just makeup or it's not just picks. It is also all about play, communication, usage, etc. It is going to be an interesting game. See. Although, I do admit that at least Truman seems to be picking at least some vague counters. Not full counters, but at least some vague ones as well. Then again, Aurelian Soul is... It seems like Aurelian Soul will probably have an advantage over the Syndra, but we will have to see, as they are still pretty evenly matched. But A Soul needs to go quick before the mid lane. Sorry, before mid game. Here we go. But we will have to see, as it is still about competition and keeping track of where everybody else is. CMU's good with lane swapping, they're good with team fights. We're gonna have to see if Truman can up their team fight status or if they will have to lose it. Skarner is good use for ganks out of the jungle. However, with how aggressive Volibear can be, we will have to see how tough this guy is. Then again, doesn't always mean that they will win, though. CMU has gotten ahead with the draft, but has lacked usage, or activation at least. Hopefully, we can see where they either fall short or succeed. CMU took out every single objective. all the Void Grubs, took out Baron, took all but one Drake from Truman. And as we soon are to enter the rift properly, hopefully, I will see you guys on the other side of the rift. Alright, and into the rift we go. Another thing that was important that CMU was good at was vision. Making sure vision was used everywhere and well.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
They really need to step up again in order to make sure that it's kept. Whoa, looks like they're going for what looked like a 4-on-2. That seems to back off of that idea. Many are going to hide in bushes.
Minions have spawned.
But we will have to see as others stick around. Yone hiding in the bush. Others are meeting up, taking care of vision. Which is good. Something that very much needed as of late. Oh, couple of shots at Pike. Quick 2-on-2. Very quick out of the game. It seems to back off quickly in favor of farming. Every once in a while a stray hits, but it doesn't seem to irritate them too much. Oh, looks like the Jinx is trying to take out the Jin, or nope, the Pike, but no luck. The Ace Soul gets stunned, but thankfully too far to do much damage. Both the Pike and the Jin are chased underneath turrets. Pike is on his third shot. As Yone and Kench go back and forth with each other. Seems like the Ace Soul and the Syndra keep going back and forth, but this Garner comes to help, but misses the last shot, and the Garner goes back. The Ace Soul is hiding underneath tower. As the Kench walks back and forth and farms. Yone doesn't seem too aggressive as of late. Vision does look pretty decent. No overly quick aggression. Beyond just swapping back and forth. Having Kench being played again, this time in a different role, and top instead of support. Very clever idea. However, just taunting as of late. Kench drops a ward in that bush. Back and forth. And here comes Skarner for gank. The Ace Soul is stunned, but goes right for the mage. But no such luck as of late. Jinx tries to take some shots at the Jin, but none quite land. The Ace Soul is being chipped away slowly but surely by the Syndra. Top lane seems to be swapping back and forth. The Yone takes a couple of shots, but nothing much. The Pyke goes through, taking his shots as well. Missed a couple. But they go back to hiding underneath tower. Now, who will be the one to take the dragon now that they have spawned? Pyke comes in, and same does this Volibear. Looks like we got a 3-on-2 as the Pyke escapes the attacks of the Jinx. Nami is the first to kill. The Jhin takes care of both laners. And sure enough, the Yone takes some shots at the Kench. The Kench tries to flee, and the Yone retreats back to his soul, leaving Kench to hide underneath the tower. But he does not attack the Kench as the Kench TP's out. Seems like red team's Volibear and Jhin keep taking out the Drake. As of late, the Void Grubs remain uncontested, but seems to be going quick as Pyke and Pyke goes up that way to start taking them out. But the Pyke returns. This does leave the bot lane uncontested as the Pyke and the Aesol approach the Syndra. The Pyke grabs her quickly, but the Aesol misses the shot. The Volibear runs through mid to get up to the Grubs, it seems, as the Pyke also follows suit into the river. Of course, the Syndra takes some shots at the Pyke, but to no avail, and there is the Skarner waiting to get an attack on the Pyke. Oh! The Volibear is taken out quickly by the Syndra. Does it... It seems like the, that blue team might be the ones to get the Grubs this time. They got 2, and blue team is the one to finish slaying the Void Grubs. Quite an interesting turn of pace this time. Both are on equal playing fields right now, although CMU is lagging a little bit behind. Yone takes some shots at the Kench, but return back quickly as the Kench follows behind the Yone. The Yone takes some shots, same with the Kench, both swapping about same damage of health. The Skarner tries to help, but seemingly not so much as the Kench goes after the Skarner. Jinx misses the attack on the Jhin. The Jhin is stunned. The Jinx is coming in hot with some attacks, and the Jhin is unable to flee from the Jinx. The Kench has chased the Yone underneath the turret, and as the Nami and the Jinx keep the Pyke underneath the turret as well. Seems like the tides have turned as Truman seems to have made up for a little bit of an early lead as CMU had last time. But we will have to see. Objectives are not going uncontested anymore. They are going fully through. The Kench is stunned and moved and taken by the Skarner. The Yone disappears. Skarner grabs, but the Kench TP's away, but not before the Yone has anything to say about it and takes him out immediately. Seems like it. Same story that CMU put in for Truman ended up being put the other way around. Hopefully, CMU might be able to make it up in the bot lane. Jhin is a little aggressive, quickly stunned by the Jinx. The Jinx has taken some attacks and takes him out quickly. Quick punishment for not getting out fast enough, that's for sure. And they have bot lane uncontested. The Pyke and the Volibear show up to corner the Syndra. Taken out, stunned, striked, and out. Tahm Kench seems to keep avoiding the Yone, but he is stuck. But doesn't quite take as much out as they keep being drawn together as Yone keeps separating away. Most seem to be misses, as finally bot and support are back to make sure that the Jinx and the Nami don't go uncontested. The Skarner is coming around the bend, and same with the Volibear, eliminating vision as they go. The Volibear finds the Skarner in the bush, but the Jinx takes a quick shot. The Skarner is stunned. The dragon has spawned, and it seems like this will be a 3v3 to see who will take the Drake. The Skarner misses a shot on the Jhin as the Pyke flees from the Yone, and the Yone retreats back. Seems like it's a 4-on-3, and seems like blue team. Oh, Pyke takes a grab out of the Jinx, and the Nami takes out the Volibear. The Syndra takes out the Jhin, and it seems like blue team is uncontested to take the Drake. Now, question is, who will take the Void Grubs this time? And it seems to be that blue team is moving as a united force, much like CMU did originally. As seems like blue team is lining up to take the second round of Void Grubs. Seems like Truman has learned from their mistakes this time, as CMU is not left to their own devices to fight, but ends up... Oh! The Volibear takes a quick grab at the Syndra, and everyone chips in from Pyke to a soul, and it is the Volibear that takes the last strike. Seems like it actually might be red team, might be CMU to take out the Void Grubs this time, as the Kench chips in and makes sure that blue team does not get a foothold into the Baron Pit. Seems like blue team is closing in, but even they get the final Void Grub, and the Jinx and the Lulu go back and go to mid lane to meet the Jhin and the Pyke. They're chased back under the turret, and Volibear is coming in to help, but not without the Skarner having anything to say about it. The Ace Soul is dancing down by bot lane and keeping the Syndra busy. Seems like a lot are meeting up in mid lane. The Ace Soul is stunned, but can't land any hits on him. As the ooh, Kench takes a nasty bite out of the Yone, but the Yone retreats. Pyke takes a grab at the Jinx. And here comes the Jhin, both hiding underneath the turret, chipping away at the health. The Pyke misses the shot, the Jinx does not. As the Ace Soul slowly farms away at the health, and Syndra makes sure that she gets a good attachment, and the Ace Soul escapes barely with his life. Syndra's in hot pursuit though at the bot tower, and the Kench contests the Rift Herald. Volibear is stunned by the Nami's wave, and they both separate to go chase after the Skarner, hoping to prevent the destroy the attack on the Rift Herald. Jin takes his 4 shots as the Volibear takes some fight to the Yone, but the Yone claps back, and the Skarner gets to finish fighting the Rift Herald. Again, seems like seems like Truman is copying CMU's formula. Jinx is a weapon of mass destruction here, taking out the Pike. The Yone grabs the Kench goes back at him, and the Yone goes free. Blue team summons the Rift Herald as the Yone tries to take one last shot at the Kench, but to no avail. The Rift Herald charges right for the red team's last mid lane turret, and it seems like it might have been destroyed. The Yone has free reign to destroy the first top red turret. And it seems like everybody seems to be meeting in the bot lane. The Volibear goes straight for the blue buff and the Skarner. And the Pike gets some health ripped out of him by the Syndra. Last minute shots. The Skarner goes straight for the Volibear, snicking him between the wall, and he is gone. The Pike barely makes it out with his life as he flees underneath turret. Wow. Quite an impressive show so far. Seems like blue team is deciding on whether to go after the red team. But no, they go straight for Drake. Make sure they had all the people there and available to take them out. Seems like CMU is left to farm and eliminate vision as blue team quickly dispatches of the Drake. It seems like they nearly have 3 or 4 on top for that one turret, seeming to do a 4-man run. And then that means that the last turret is left practically undefended as Jin tries to keep his shot, but Jinx has other plans as she completely obliterates his health and nearly gets straight into the base. The Volibear leaves them be to run back into jungle. Interesting to see blue team get so aggressive as compared to what matching what CMU was doing the last game. They have a pretty impressive gold lead. Truman has taken out, and the Skarner barely misses taking out the Kench at the wall, but not before blue team makes some decent damage on that bot lane turret. And sure enough, they are going straight for the base. Jinx eliminates the Jin and the Pike. There is no mercy now, and the Nami obliterates the Kench. There is not much hope now, as Skarner is going right for the A-Soul, and the A-Soul barely escapes. Volibear is trying to defend the turret, but there is not much left to go for, as blue team already has vision inside their base. Blue team retreats, leaving red team cornered. And Syndra is making sure that that last turret is taken care of, as the A-Soul does barely anything to defend. Jin takes some shots quickly, and thanks to Jin's stunning shots, Volibear can start taking out the Syndra. Asol and Volibear team up again with the Jin to take out the Skarner successfully. As they all make their way down mid lane. Volibear meets the Jinx and diverts quickly into the river. Red team seems to be sticking up in their lane as blue team seems inching their way deeper and deeper into territory. Baron has spawned and it seems like we might get some contention there as red team makes its Volibear makes his way into the Baron pit but is cornered by the Yone and the Nami and the Jinx as they had everything prepared. But not before the Pyke has anything to say about it, as he tries to at least seemingly contest, but without any allies, the Pyke is kind of there alone. Can the Pyke make a decent steal? We will have to see. Here comes the Kench coming in from the top end of the Baron pit. Blue team crushes through all of the health. And blue team takes out Baron. Not enough to steal it. The Syndra takes out the Jin. And blue team is left in a very similar position as CMU was in the last game. Yesel chips away at more turrets, hoping to try to get in deeper, but Yesel leaves quickly to not come face to face with the Yone, as the Yone is quite a tough pick for an Yesel to fight against. Yesel does not do well against Yone. Good choice. The Nami and the Jinx make their way into the river where they wait for the next Drake. And miss the Volibear. Yesel is farming minions but gets stuck by the Jinx. As the Jinx misses every shot though, chasing him into the base. The Nami and the Yone keep from afar, but they are going straight in for the base's entrance, and the ultimate barely does anything as Yesel is on his last legs. Red team tries to make an aggressive push, but to no avail, as blue team gets away and goes straight for the next Drake. This leaves Kench and Volibear alone to go for another seeming base raid. At least try to make a run for the base, as there is more resistance as they get closer. CMU still has a 10k gold deficiency. I highly doubt that this would be any good. Skarner gets stunned and enough to back off, as Pyke, nope, sorry, Jin retreats underneath the turret. Seems like blue is biding its time until they can make a charge. Volibear avoids a shot by Jinx as they press towards the mid lane entrance. However, they have resistance waiting for them as they get there. The Skarner taking some shots at the Kench as the Yone takes on the Pyke and the Jin. Jinx misses the super rocket on Jin, and it seems to be a quick rush. The Yesel can't land many hits on the Skarner as they go straight for the next inhibitor turret. Jin goes for ult, but does not much as Skarner takes out Volibear, obliterates the Kench. The Yesel is on the run. The Pyke, the Jin shuts down the Nami and leaves many. Oh, the Pyke makes a run for it, but not before the Skarner says anything and picks it out. The Jinx obliterates the Jin. and they get deeper and deeper into the base. Syndra takes shots at the Pyke, and sure enough, stunned and killed by the Jinx. This Jinx is a bastard to fight, and the Ace Soul is also taken out. They have free reign of the base now. Volibear comes in quick for a fight, and this makes the 2 retreat. Volibear does get a little bit of revenge against the Jinx, but the Jinx is able to take some shots as they flee from the Kench and the Volibear. The Skarner does not get away, and Jinx barely escapes with her life. The next charge will be probably the last push. I gotta admit, Truman has learned from their mistakes last round and pretty much copied CMU word for word, bar for bar here. They made sure that they team fought as they went. They made sure that they had Baron, that they had the Rift Herald, that they were going for objectives this time. Again, very similar thing with Drakes, where they have 3 on one side, 1 on the other. Very interesting structure and very quick with how fast, and Syndra just eliminates the Jhin rapidly. At this point, there is such a gap that I doubt that CMU can recover from. Oh, the Volibear gets stuck, and the Jinx has something to say about it, obliterating him. And the A Soul is running. Seems like the bot seems like it is a full another charge, as Jinx goes right for the Pyke and the Jhin. And sure enough, there is no stopping this Jinx, taking out 2 by herself. Jhin activates the ultimate, but there is not much to do left as the Kench tries to keep them from fighting, but there is no way. The Kench is stunned and chipped away, and it is gone. It is an inhibitor fight, and the Skarner makes sure that there is no escaping. We are on to game 3. Let's see who wins this one. Hello, this is Wendigo again, and welcome back to game 3, and we are going into drafts. Drafts seem to be going quick. CMU takes out the Shen and the Gnosis, and Truman responds with the Mundo and the Cassante. Seems like they are still afraid of that Cassante top that they were playing first game. CMU did not like the Jinx that they were playing this past game. Terrifying bot. And Truman takes out the Vladimir. Probably still afraid of that Vladimir mid. CMU takes Volibear. Truman responds. Are they going to go aggressive this time? Are they going to go another way? Looks like they're taking care of jungle quick. Possibly. Pogma is taken by Truman. And CMU is taking possibly a Philios. Interesting pick. At least, seeming to be a pick. Nope, and that is solidified. CMU takes Thresh. I'm gonna have to see what they combine him with, as Truman gets the last pick for the first wave of picks. Aphelios doesn't seem to be... we will have to see what the whole plan is for picking who's going up against who, and Nami is taken for Truman. Probably should have taken that Nami off. CMU should have, but then again, if it wasn't for the Jinx, they wouldn't have such a complete obliteration of the team last time. Truman bans Malzahar. And it's CMU's turn for the second wave of bans. CMU removes the Jax. Truman removes the Ace Soul. Interesting to see. And CMU gets the last pick of bans. They could go for... And they go for Ornn. Interesting choice. Haven't seen him in action this game. And is probably preventing him from being in action this game. Seems like Truman is missing top laner as of recent. Possibly picking top and mid, so let's see what they choose. Seems to be a last minute pick. And they lock in a Akali. Interesting choice. CMU responds in turn with what seems to be Vex. Now, Akali doesn't have an exact counter pick since he is off the table, but it seems like Vex might be the next best thing in comparison to take on in mid lane. And Vex is solidified, and Gnar, probably going for Gnar top, is next. CMU's Gnar is impressively played most of the time. We will have to see if that's what they lock in, and what Truman locks in response. Their choice for top lane. And it looks like Gnar is locked in properly. Red is left for the last pick of the drafts. And Truman seems to be taking its time. Now, they could go for all sorts of other choices against Gnar to give him a challenge. As their CMU's Gnar has a decent pick rate, and Camille is the chosen choice. Interesting choice. Not a direct pick, but definitely an interesting one. Camille is going to be a rough one, especially if Gnar allows her to pick a fight against him. But we will see how it is played out. Seems they're about evenly matched against each other. But again, we will have to see where each champion gets moved around to be. Again, CMU seems to be going for aggressive. Truman seems to be going for balance.
So I feel.
However, again, as we've seen, CMU obliterated them the first game. Truman responded in kind by copying CMU's method and using it against them. We will have to see who picks who. Because again, it's not all about draft. It's all about play, composition, communication. We will have to see who gets assigned to what roles.
Ah, come on.
And how well
What's
it can
the
be
worst that
played.
could happen?
The Volibear for CMU seemed very weak last game in the jungle. And the Skarner was great in team fights and quite controlling in the jungle as well. And pulling off a couple of good successful ganks. The Skarner is definitely something to look out for. The Vex is actually a decent, but not perfect, counter to Akali. But we will have to see how it is played. Because, again, Vex likes being far, Akali likes being close. Gnar has to be played well, properly to see. However, they might use Vex. Sorry, not Vex. They might use, Aphelios, Thresh for bot lane. An interesting matchup. However, CMU's Aphelios is quite good for his skill level. Yep. Seems like we will be going for CMU, Gnar top, Volibear jungle, Vex mid, Aphelios bot, and Thresh support. While we have for Truman, Camille top, Skarner jungle, Akali mid, Kog'Maw bot, and Nami support. Again, this might be an interesting combination. Gnar just can't allow Camille to get her double shots in, but Camille can't get stuck with him in Mega Gnar form. Volibear needs to ramp up fast. Skarner did a lot of damage, ramped up levels fast, completely obliterated Volibear last time. Again, it's a game in mid lane of chicken. Who wants to get close enough fast enough? Akali needs close, Vex needs far. But we'll see. Vex can be a CMU's Vex has been impressive in the past. We will see if it continues to be. Aphelios in the right hands can be a monster. And we'll have to see if CMU can play Aphelios to that level. They've played Kog'Maw just as well, but we will have to see as what a Kog'Maw can do in Truman's hand, in the Truman team's hands. Of course, their Nami was very impressive, but working hand in hand with the Jinx, but with the Jinx out, we're gonna have to see if Nami is as powerful as she was last game. Thresh is an important support. He has been played well by CMU, but again, it's all about what kind of skill can CMU use to keep pressing onward. As Nami can be a bit of a troublemaker, and she is a bit of a good, decent counter pick to Thresh. However, hopefully, Thresh can keep a decent check on bot. At least help out with Nami. Needs to level up fast, needs to take care of a lot of things fast and quick. Hopefully, if a support is good, they can buy their bot laner time to go all in and heavy hit. But we'll have to see. Hopefully, we won't see as much of a crushing for either side. Hopefully, it's a decent base game. But then again, all that won the past two games, was nothing but objectives. CMU got the Baron, CMU got all the grubs, CMU got all but one dragon, and then they flipped it on its head when it came to Truman doing the same to CMU. Alright, draft is done, and I will see you on the other side in the rift. And we are back in the Rift for Game 3. Truman Bulldogs and Colorado Mesa Mavericks. Everyone is getting to their places, and it seems like Skarner might be the first one on the list.
Seconds until minions spawn.
Nope.